Have you ever noticed how stillness, not noise, reveals who we really are? What if boredom wasn't a burden, but a doorway to the deepest truths within you? The ancients knew, the mind that wanders freely often returns with wisdom no classroom could ever teach. Let's begin with a truth most of us forget. In today's world, silence feels like a threat. Boredom. It's treated like an enemy, something we rush to eliminate with screens, scrolling, stimulation. But what if that discomfort, those empty, quiet moments, weren't something to escape, but something sacred? Imagine this. You're sitting alone. No notifications, no noise, just your thoughts. Most people run from that moment. But the Stoics, the ancients, they leaned into it. They believed boredom wasn't a sign of weakness, but the gateway to power. Marcus Aurelius didn't fill his mind with distractions. He emptied it to discover himself. So what happens when we stop filling every blank space with noise? When we stop numbing our thoughts and finally listen to what our own mind is trying to say? Let's walk the path the Stoics walked. Let's rediscover the forgotten skill of being still, because inside the silence is something powerful, something ancient. Let's begin. Have you ever felt the weight of chaos pressing down on you and wondered how some people stay calm and unshaken? What if I told you the ancients, those who practice Stoic philosophy, left us a map, not just for survival, but for strength, a timeless blueprint for resilience, a way to transform discomfort into discipline and boredom into brilliance? And what if I told you the power to transform your life wasn't waiting in a book or behind a screen, but already within you? A quiet strength, a focused clarity, just waiting for you to claim it. This is not about empty motivation. This is a call to awaken the mind, to remember truths buried under noise. This is Stoic wisdom from the ancients, a voice carried through centuries, whispering to us still. This message isn't just inspiration. It's a challenge, a reminder, an invitation. Rise above excuses, rise beyond distraction. Life is not an endless rehearsal. It's a one-act play. And each morning, the sunrise, it's your chance to act with courage, with virtue, with purpose. The Stoics knew this. They understood that every day is training for the soul, that every hardship is a teacher, that discomfort is not something to run from, but to lean into. Every moment, even the dull and empty ones, are sacred. Why? Because they train us to pay attention. They sharpen our awareness. They force us to meet ourselves. You can't wait for the perfect moment. You can't rely on someone else to come and save you. The Stoic path reminds us, discipline is freedom. Control what you can, accept what you cannot. Live with clarity and purpose. Every decision you make today, it carves the shape of your tomorrow. Every sacrifice you make now, it plants the seeds of your future. So take this moment, breathe in deeply, and step into your life with the calm, focused strength of Stoicism guiding you. Because this is not about who you were yesterday. This is about who you choose to become today. And people who are truly hungry for change, they embrace what the ancients knew. Discipline today creates freedom tomorrow. To live a meaningful life, you must train your soul, the way Marcus Aurelius trained his mind, through effort, through sacrifice, through boredom even, because boredom forces the mind to wander, and that's where creativity lives. That's where vision begins. No one is coming to design your destiny for you. No one is going to hand you the life you want. You've been given one chance to walk this earth, one shot to leave your mark, one life to live with purpose. And life, it's too short to waste behind excuses. The ancients would tell you, stop fleeing discomfort, step into it. Close your eyes, picture your highest self, the one you dream of being. Hold that image the way the Stoics held their meditations, tight, intentional, sacred. That vision, it's not impossible. It's within reach if you choose it. You've already decided you won't let circumstances or setbacks define you. That decision belongs to you and no one else. So stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for proof before you act. The Stoics said it clearly. Fortune favors the prepared, and failure, it's not permanent unless you surrender. Every action today is a seed planted for tomorrow. So ask yourself, what do you see in your future? What fire pulled you from bed this morning? What vision brought you here? You are closer than ever, closer than you realize. Don't trade years of progress for 15 minutes of comfort. The ancients called that folly. They knew the path is hard, but the prize is freedom. You woke this morning with a mission to chase your dream until it's yours. That mission demands sacrifice. It demands that you leave behind the weaker version of yourself, the one who chooses distraction over discipline, comfort over clarity. When your body begs for more sleep, rise. When your mind whispers, it's too hard, push. Because the Stoic path is not about running from challenge, it's about running straight toward it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The obstacle is the way. Every setback, every trial, every boring moment that tests your attention is the raw material for growth." Monday through Friday. Give everything 120%. Each day is a new beginning. Inhale possibility, exhale doubt. A new chance stands before you, and if setbacks come, embrace them, because they are training. Every day may not bring joy, but every day brings meaning. And meaning is the lifeblood of a resilient soul. The Stoics remind us, your competition is not out there. It is within. Others may seem to win on the outside, but if you are losing within, you will collapse. So win the inner battle first. Shut down every whisper of doubt, every surge of negativity. When your alarm rings and your mind pleads for 5 more minutes, remember Epictetus. You control your will. You control your choice. Act before hesitation steals your future. Use the 5-second rule as a sword. Act in the moment. Rise. Grind. Shine. Climb. Give everything you've got. And when resistance shows, up and it will. Don't run, because what you do next, how you respond when ease disappears and pressure mounts, that's where the real journey begins. Let's move forward, deeper into this ancient wisdom, into the world where pressure becomes transformation. Previously, we stepped into the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, a philosophy born from the fire of hardship and sculpted through the struggles of emperors and exiles alike. We explored how chaos isn't something to escape, but something to transform. How pressure and adversity become raw material for a resilient soul. And now, with that foundation laid, we move into the next essential truth of Stoic thinking, one that turns our daily grind into spiritual training. Every single day is a workout. For your soul, the ancients understood what many of us forget. Life is not a passive experience. It's a forge, a daily shaping of your character. Every sunrise doesn't just bring light. It brings a new opportunity to step into discipline, to build clarity, to train your mind for the battles ahead. Every moment you face today, every traffic jam, setback, or disappointment is an invitation to get stronger. You can't wait for perfect conditions to begin. You can't wait for the world to calm down before you rise up. There's no ideal moment coming. The Stoics taught us this with urgency. They knew the clock was ticking, that every breath is a breath closer to the end. And in that urgency they found power, not panic. Discipline, they believed, is not restriction. It is liberation. When you train your will, when you become the master of your impulses, something incredible happens. You unlock freedom. The kind of freedom that isn't shaken by mood swings or setbacks. It's the kind of freedom that comes from choosing your response, even when the world spins out of control. Control what you can, accept what you cannot. This isn't passive resignation, it's active clarity. A mindset that eliminates wasted energy on what's outside your grasp and doubles your focus on what's within your reach. You can control your thoughts. You can control your effort. You can control your daily decisions, your habits, your reactions, and those little things. They shape your entire life. Every decision today is carving the path of who you're becoming tomorrow. That's not motivational fluff. It's a fact. Your actions are votes cast in the election of your future self. Each disciplined choice is a brick in the foundation of your legacy. And let's not forget sacrifice, a word many try to avoid. But in the Stoic world, sacrifice isn't loss, it's investment. Giving up comfort now to gain strength later, choosing clarity over chaos, choosing growth over ease. So pause right now and breathe in deeply. Let it settle. This life, your life, is not something you're waiting to begin. It's already underway, and your response to each moment is either shaping or surrendering your future. Because the truth is, this isn't about who you were yesterday. It's about who you choose to be today. People who are truly hungry for change understand what the ancients understood, that you do not drift into greatness, you walk into it, one clear, determined step at a time. And those steps, they hurt. They demand things from you. They cost energy, comfort, even old versions of yourself that you'll have to leave behind. But what you gain is priceless. Discipline. Today builds the freedom of tomorrow. Sacrifice today shapes the strength that will carry you through storms later. There is no shortcut. There is only the grind. To live a meaningful life, you must train your soul just like Marcus Aurelius trained his mind, through effort, repetition, and the gritty embrace of discomfort. You must fall in love with the process, not the results. Nobody is coming to rescue you. No one else is going to build your vision. No one else is going to show up at 5 a.m. and do the work. That responsibility belongs to you. And that truth, it's not a burden, it's empowerment. You've been given one life, one voice, one chance to leave a mark that echoes beyond your years. So stop waiting for some magical moment. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop looking for proof before you begin. Begin now. Move now. The Stoics were clear. Fortune favors the prepared, not the comfortable, not the lucky, the prepared. Failure is not fatal unless you decide it is. Setbacks are not the end unless you stop moving. Every action today is a seed. The harvest won't come tomorrow, but it will come. So ask yourself, what are you planting with your actions today? What story are you writing with your discipline? What identity are you shaping with your choices? You're closer than you think. closer to your goals, your vision, your purpose. But comfort wants to pull you back. It whispers for ease. It promises short-term pleasure in exchange for long-term regret. The ancients had a word for that: folly, because nothing is more foolish than exchanging progress for procrastination, exchanging clarity for comfort, exchanging your future for what feels good. Right now, the path is steep, yes, but the prize is freedom. You woke up today with a mission that demands your presence, your passion, your power, and that mission demands sacrifice. You must leave behind the weaker version of yourself, that version who hits snooze, that version who makes excuses, that version who crumbles under resistance. When your body begs for sleep, rise. When your mind whispers, it's too hard, push harder, because the Stoic path is not about running from challenge. It's about running toward it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The obstacle is the way." He didn't mean that as a metaphor. He meant it literally. The trial in front of you, that is the doorway to your transformation. Monday through Friday, give everything you have, not to prove yourself to the world, but to prove something far more important, that you are not your fears, you are not your laziness, you are not your past. You are what you repeatedly do. And each new day is a fresh canvas. Inhale possibility, exhale doubt. Let this moment be a reset, a new beginning. Because when setbacks come, and they will, don't curse them. Embrace them. They are your training. Ground. Not every day will bring joy, but every day can bring meaning. And meaning is what fuels the soul. Your real competition is not other people. It's not the market or the trend or the algorithm. Your only competition is within. And if you win that battle, if you master that inner war, there is nothing external that can stop you. When your alarm rings and your mind pleads for 5 more minutes, remember this. Epictetus said, you control your will, you control your choice. Act before hesitation steals your future. This isn't just another motivational video. This is a map, a framework, a weapon of clarity. Use the 5-second rule as a sword. Rise, grind, show up, show out. Because what starts as effort becomes habit. What starts as habit becomes identity. And your identity determines your destiny. Journey begins easy, but resistance is always around the corner. That's when life will test how bad you want it. So when strength runs low, dig deeper. Flip the switch. Tap into your grind mode. Do what others refuse to do. Live with fire in your chest, with passion in your blood, with purpose in your bones. As the ancients said, greatness is not born in comfort. It's forged in adversity. And now we move forward to explore not just why the grind matters, but how pain, pressure, and discomfort become our greatest teachers, our allies. In the next chapter, we will enter the fire and discover how every pain you face can become the very fuel that propels you forward. You become someone who can hold the weight of challenge without bending. You become dependable under pressure, not just for yourself, but for others. Because those who have endured can carry others who have not yet found their strength. The Stoics knew it's not about erasing pain, it's about elevating it. They meditated on hardship daily, not because they were pessimists, but because they wanted to be ready. They didn't fear the storm. They trained in the rain. Think of Marcus Aurelius, emperor of the Roman Empire, writing his meditations during war, plague, and betrayal. He did not demand comfort. He demanded character. He didn't waste energy wishing away the suffering. He asked instead, what can I build with this? And so should you. Use your setbacks as starting points. Use your fatigue as fuel. Use your suffering as sculpting stone, because you are not being broken, you are being built. Every test is an invitation. Every struggle a chisel. You are the marble, and life is carving a masterpiece. If you resist it, you stay a block. But if you surrender to the shaping, you emerge transformed. But let's be clear, this path is not about masochism. It's not about glorifying hardship or pretending pain is pleasant. It's about meaning. It's about depth. It's about knowing that when things hurt, you are alive. And when you are alive, you still have the power to choose, to respond with purpose, to act with integrity, to speak with clarity, to live with intention. Because in the Stoic mind, pain without purpose is wasted, but pain aligned with purpose becomes progress. That's why they practiced voluntary discomfort. They fasted, they walked in the cold, they sat in silence. They imagined loss, not to suffer needlessly, but to sharpen gratitude, courage, and readiness. So if you're in pain today, don't run. Sit with it, learn from it, let it speak, and then rise. Rise, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. This, the Stoics taught, is the path to freedom, not comfort, not applause, but self-mastery. And as we prepare to move forward into the next chapter, we carry this with us, that every pressure is a forge, that resilience is built, not wished for, and that what you endure today becomes the strength you carry into tomorrow. So let's take the next step into the power of sacrifice, the wisdom of letting go, and the discipline of becoming. Page 4. Sacrifice and letting go. If page 3 revealed how pressure sculpts your strength, page 4 opens the door to another transformative truth. Sacrifice is not a loss, it's a refinement. When we think of sacrifice, we often imagine deprivation, hardship, giving up what we love. But in Stoic philosophy, sacrifice is purification. It is the conscious release of what no longer serves us so we can make room for what truly does. The ancients knew you cannot grasp what is ahead if your hands are full of what's behind. To gain freedom, you must surrender attachment. To gain clarity, you must let go of distraction. To gain strength, you must release weakness. It begins with time. Time is the currency of greatness, yet we trade it for scrolling, distractions, comforts that cost us our future. Marcus Aurelius warned, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. The urgency of now is real. If you waste time, you rob yourself, not just of productivity, but of becoming next. Sacrifice comfort. Comfort feels safe, but it is a trap. It soothes you into stagnation. The Stoics warned that seeking too much ease weakens the soul. Seneca wrote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." If you want transformation, you must embrace discomfort. Break out of toxic habits. Step away from unworthy company. Disrupt your routine. Your higher self waits beyond the boundaries of comfort. Then comes the most sacred sacrifice of all, the old self. Too many of us cling to who we once were, replaying past victories, protecting outdated identities. But each season demands a new version of you. The Stoics practiced daily self-examination. They asked, "Am I closer to wisdom today than yesterday?" To step forward, you must bury the self that no longer fits the mission. Fear, pride, ego, these must be offered up. Fear disguises itself as reason. Ego whispers you've done enough. Pride urges you to defend, not evolve, but the Stoics saw through. The mask, they knew only humility opens the door to wisdom. And what about the final sacrifice, the one we avoid the most? People. Some relationships are anchors, not because people are bad, but because they are not aligned. The Stoics valued friendship deeply, but not at the cost of growth. Bad company, Seneca warned, corrupts good character. If someone cannot walk with, you wish them well and walk anyway. Sacrifice is not cruelty, it is clarity. Letting go does not mean losing, it means choosing better. And with each sacrifice, something sacred is revealed, not weakness, but power, not emptiness, but room for greatness. So as we prepare for the next page on execution and daily mastery, hold this close. To ascend, you must release. To rise, you must refine. To become, you must unbecome. And now let us step boldly into the discipline of doing. Page 5, Execution and Mastery. Now that we've cleared the path through sacrifice, the Stoics guide us to the next truth, execution. Dreams without action are illusions. Intentions without discipline are empty. The ancients knew greatness is not an idea, it is a habit. They didn't just speak philosophy, they practiced it. Epictetus taught from slavery, Seneca wrote from exile, Marcus Aurelius ruled through plague and war. These were not men of theory, they were men of execution. So what does execution look like? It looks like studying your craft, refining your character, showing up daily. Marcus wrote his thoughts each morning, not to impress others, but to keep himself accountable. He was emperor, yet he humbled himself before the page. Before the truth, execution means critique. You must study yourself as if you were both teacher and student. Ask, where did I succeed today? Where did I fall short? What will I do better tomorrow? Seneca urged his students to review each day before sleep, not to punish themselves, but to progress. Reflection creates refinement. Without it, execution becomes repetition, and repetition without awareness becomes stagnation. True mastery is not about doing more, it's about doing better. Execution is not glamorous. It is early mornings, late nights, sweat, stillness, and silence. It is the part no one claps for, but the Stoics didn't need applause. They lived for alignment. They knew, if your action is virtuous, it is already enough. Marcus wrote, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Execution means immersion, not dipping your toe, but diving in with full presence. It's not about chasing everything, it's about choosing the essential. It's not about being busy, it's about being better. Each act of effort becomes a deposit in your legacy, and when the breakthrough comes, it won't be sudden, it will be earned. So now, carry this truth with you. You don't rise by wishing, you rise by working. You do not shape your destiny by waiting. You shape it by executing, with discipline, with awareness, with alignment, because that is the Stoic way. You've walked this journey from inner chaos to calm, from pressure to power, from sacrifice to execution. Now I ask you, what will you do with what you've learned? Will you let it drift away like yesterday's motivation? Or will you wake up tomorrow with clarity? Will you take the first step, not in thought but in action? Remember, the ancient wisdom is already within you. This is not the beginning of inspiration. It is the beginning of transformation. So rise with purpose. Show up with discipline, live with intention. Let your life be the answer to every doubt. Let your action be the philosophy others remember. And if this message moved you, share it. Like it, pass it to someone walking through their own storm. Together, we rise. Together, we remember the ancient truths. Together, we practice the Stoic way. Until next time, stay grounded, stay grateful, stay stoic.